Hey everybody, Michelle here in Northern Illinois Zone 5. We are definitely in fall. The nights are definitely cooler, the days are brisker, you can see the leaves are changing, and I think next week is like peak fall color. So that is coming up very fast. Everything in the garden is starting to wind down, but I think fall is a really good time to kind of take a step back and reflect on what you did during the year that was awesome, and what did you do during the year that you needed to improve or you totally failed at. I've had so much fun with you guys this year. It has been totally awesome making these videos and hopefully educating people and inspiring them to go and garden. If you have not subscribed, please do so below. Leave your comments, ask your questions. I would love to help you out if I can. I think that this is the most fun I've had in a summer in a long time. Usually you just kind of go through the drudgery of getting through the year, but this year I've been inspired. I've been just active in my garden more than any other year, and for me it's been totally awesome. And part of that is because you guys are watching, and I know that I'm hopefully creating some content that will help inspire you guys to want to go out there and garden and grow too. So as the year winds down, I always like to think about, what did I do through the year that was totally awesome? I think I did some really cool things this year, but 5 for me at my home and at the garden center really stand out as far as things that I'm really super happy I did, or things that I would do again in a heartbeat. So let's take a look at the 5 things that I did that I thought I did totally well. But then, there was some things that I went, I probably shouldn't have done that. Or, you know what, maybe next year I need to do this instead. Or maybe it was, I learned a whole bunch and it gave me an opportunity to improve on it next year. So let's take a look at 5 that were great and 5 that were not so great and see what we come up with. I will definitely replant this parking lot island with this Super Tunia bubblegum and the Gomphrena Truffula from Proven Winners. It is almost towards the end of August and this is still performing absolutely wonderful. We had 3 days of just cold, icky rain. We've had 1 light frost, and look at them, they're still going. And everyone that was pulling in this parking lot was looking at this island and it was fabulous. I will definitely do this again. This is a success. This year's apple harvest wasn't that great. I have 2 apple trees and I started off with the best of intentions. I did get my dormant spray done, I got my pruning done, and then we headed into the season and I never did another thing. So what did I get? A bunch of wormy apples. So my harvest was really super small. So if I had to change one thing, it would be to make sure that I get on my spray schedule and I'm spraying these trees every 2 weeks until the end of July so I get apples. I love apples and there's so many things you can do with them. So this was definitely an area that for me this year was a fail. Another win for me has been this whole sidewalk bed that we did, the coleus from the Proven Winners Color Blaze series, and then the Impatience, and we did the Portland mix. This has been a fabulous looking bed all summer long, and even though we've gone through a little bit of a frost, I thought I was going to lose the coleus. They are still going strong, and I'm going to leave them all in their pots until a hard frost totally takes them out. I will do this again next year and maybe just do a different color scheme, but this was definitely one of my favorite garden beds all summer long. Fabulous. A big fail this year was popping things down into my front garden, letting it totally get out of control, not transplanting things when I needed to, not weeding when I should have, and then making a great big hot mess that I had to clean up, and it took me 2 weeks to do it. A total win is this path. Totally love it. It's in the front garden. It's twice as wide as it was. I can actually walk from one end to the other without having to kick things aside, and I can't wait till next year to plant things along the edge that actually won't take it over. So this is a great big fat win for me. So I'm out in the cottage garden with my sorry looking zinnias. I will never plant zinnias in a pot again, and I will never put pots out here in the cottage garden again. They're too far away for me to think about coming out here and watering every single day and dragging a hose out. So unless I have an aqua pot, and even then I'd still have to fill it up like every 3 or 4 days or maybe once a week, or I don't know, I don't have drip irrigation. I don't know that I'm going to put pots out here. So for me, this was kind of a big fat fail because I forgot about them and they died. So I won't be doing this again. A success for me this year was planting these white Surefire Rose Begonias from Proven Winners. They have been this little bright, shining, bunch of goodness over here in the corner of the garden that's kind of a little bit dark, and every time you walk by you have this nice beautiful bunch of white. They performed exceptionally well. I barely had to do anything to them. I think I had to supplement water them maybe twice, and this was a pretty dry summer. I never fertilized them and they did fantastic. Again, it's pretty cold right now, and look at them, they're still going strong. So I will definitely plant these again. In fact, I think I'm going to plant them here, and then I'm going to continue down the embankment with even more of them next year to create a bigger, brighter impact. So for me, definite success. One of the things that I definitely need to do next year is if I don't like something in my garden, I need to take it out. I need to stop holding on to plants that I don't love or that I don't think are going to perform in my garden. This would be the perfect example of one that is just not performing well. Now, I keep saying, well, I'm going to move it into a new place, or maybe I'll put it in a pot or whatever, but I really don't think my results are going to change. This is a hydrangea, it's a big leaf, and it's a pistachio. And honestly, I think it's never going to do well here because it doesn't have great re-blooming properties, and I lose all the buds even when I wrap it. If I miss one little frost, bam, there go the buds, and I never get any flowers. I need to take it out of the garden and get rid of it. The other thing I need to lose in my garden is, you know what? I have daylilies in my garden, but they're not my favorite. So why do I have them? I don't know. I have them because I don't know. I'm not really sure. And I'm like, why do I have these? I don't like the way they look after they're done blooming. They always look ratty and icky. So why are those in my garden? So next year, guess what? The things that I don't love are coming out of the garden. Okay, I say that. I hope the things that I don't love are coming out of the garden. Anyways, for me, this is an area of improvement that I need to work on. A definite success this year was the cottage garden. This thing is one of my favorite places to hang out now. I love it out here, and I can't wait to add more things to it next year to make it even better. Success! And last but certainly not least is the cut flower garden. I learned so much about cut flowers this year. I learned what I like and I learned what I don't like. So for me, it was a mixed bag of some of it was a success and some of it was a fail. Now, I don't know if I would call learning things and education a fail. I call that an opportunity to gain more knowledge to get better the next year. But it was a mixed bag over here in that there was weeks where we had 100-degree temperatures and I didn't get out here and weed. And if you let the weeds get away from you, then you've got a big hot mess out here. So as you can see, there are some pretty big weeds in here that I got to get out. 2, I got to make sure I get out here every 4 or 5 days, or I got to train someone to come out here every 4 or 5 days to make sure that we're picking the flowers and we get the most use out of the flowers that we can. What we did pick, we used them in Stems Floral. In the floral department, the girls loved having the flowers and it was totally awesome. But then we had the amaranth. The amaranth grew like weeds. It was totally awesome, but I should have pinched it when it was little because we ended up with these big monster stalks that we didn't know what to do with. And so next year when we grow that, we'll definitely be pinching it. So that was kind of a fail on that end because we grew all this beautiful product and then we couldn't use it. So for the cut flower garden, I know next year we're going to do it again and we're going to do some different things. And again, we'll probably go through the same learning curve all over again with things that we've never planted, but it's going to be a lot of fun and it's going to teach us a whole bunch of things that we just didn't know. So for me, this one was kind of a mixed, some fail, some success, but I would do it again. So there you have it. 5 things I did that I either loved or they turned out super great. And I was pretty happy with the results. And there was more than just those 5. Those are the 5 that I just decided to highlight because for me, they were my favorite 5. Now, there were other things that I did, as you saw, that didn't turn out so great or that I learned from or that I won't be doing again. So I wrote them down and I'm going to say them out loud because I don't want to repeat the same mistake again. So I will not wait to move things out of my garden that I do not love. Out they go. I'm going to take them out, rip off the Band-Aid, and out they go. I will not plop things into the garden. I will have a plan so that they are cohesive and they come together, and I will stop plopping things in the garden. I will pinch my amaranth next year so that I have usable flowers and I don't waste the space and we don't have these big ginormous things that we don't know what to do with. I will not plant zinnias in pots and put them out in the cottage garden because there's no way I'm going to water them. And if I do it again, I'll have the exact same result. So I'm not doing that. And I will spray my apples so that I get a good apple harvest next year. I'm going to get on my 2-week spraying schedule. I'll have to schedule it into my calendar so I get it done, but I'm going to make sure I do that next year. I had an incredibly great time this summer though, doing all of my projects, working on a few landscaping things. And you know what? The season's coming to a close. There's still some life out there though, and I'm not pulling my stuff out until it is over and a hard frost takes it out, because one, it's easier to clean it up after the hard frost takes it out. But two, I want to enjoy my garden as long as possible, and I'm going to suck the life out of it and enjoy it until the very, very end. What is winter? Winter's coming. Christmas is coming. I can't wait. It's going to be super exciting. And that's when you do all your planning for the next year. And that can be just as exciting as the actual gardening itself. So that's all I got for today, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Keep on gardening because the season's not over. Bye, everybody.